Let me thank all of the people at the grassroots level throughout our country who helped us today win a major vote on the path toward ending U.S. involvement in the war in Yemen. But let me caution everybody, given the extremely obscure and complicated rules of the United States Senate, this fight is far from over. What we won this afternoon was a vote to discharge our resolution out of the Foreign Relations Committee. And that was a major, major victory. But what we have got to do is continue our effort to make sure that we end up winning the resolution to proceed, to go forward. And then finally, we have got to win final passage on this legislation. And what we did today was of enormous significance. This is a really important step forward. And what this fight, as you all know, is about is three fundamental things. Number one, what's going on in Yemen now is a horrific humanitarian disaster. We're talking about the reality of 85,000 children in the last few years starving to death. And what the United Nations tells us is that millions more people are facing imminent starvation. In Yemen today, which has always been a poor country, but in Yemen today, what we're looking at is 10,000 new cases every single week of cholera, which then lays people open to all kinds of other illnesses and death. So what we are saying is that the United States of America, in our resolution, has got to get out of that war. And instead of being part of the killing in Yemen, we have got to do everything we can to bring peace to that country and humanitarian aid so that we stop this horrific humanitarian disaster. Second thing that this resolution does is it tells the despotic dictatorship in Saudi Arabia that we are no longer going to be an appendage to their military adventurism. While Yemen has always been a poor country, the famine and the death there right now, the people dying, is a result of Saudi-led intervention in an ongoing civil war. And what we are saying in this resolution, which moved forward today, is that the United States will not continue to be part of that intervention. And the third point that we are making is that after decades and decades where the United States Congress, under both Democratic and Republican presidents, has abdicated its constitutional responsibility to be the body that, under our Constitution, determines whether the United States engages in war. It's not the President of the United States who decides whether we get into a war in Yemen or anyplace else. Constitution, Article 1 of the Constitution is very clear. It is the Congress. So what this resolution does for the first time is it says Congress is going to take back its constitutional responsibility for engaging in war. So this is a very, very big deal. But we have got to continue going forward together. I wish I could tell you exactly when the next votes on this resolution will be. That's something that is being worked on right now in the Senate. As you may know, any one senator can object to a unanimous consent and prevent us from going forward in a way that we would like to. So we don't know exactly when the vote for final passage will be. Maybe it'll be tomorrow, maybe even tonight, maybe next week, I don't know. But let us keep going together. Let us put pressure on the United States Senate, and let us make it crystal clear to the world that the United States of America is not going to continue to be part of this horrible Saudi-led intervention in Yemen's civil war, which is causing so much death and so much misery. Let's keep going together. Thank you very much.